can you tell me about like yourself, like before like going into the no code space, what exactly you were doing, and what's your like career sort of thing?
I have been an entrepreneur for a lot of years. So before no code and before I started low code agency, uh, I had been an employee for many years, but I had always dabbled with software. And for quite a few years, I had a business with a partner, and we developed custom software. So we were very focused on building a ERP/CRM for lawyers in Mexico. And the process was that my partner, he's very technical, he's a developer. So I did the sales and the project management, and he and his team did the coding. And we built a software for a very specific type of lawyers, which are notaries, which is a very interesting market. So I did that for a lot of years. And as many people in no code, I was like, if I only could code it myself, um, I could do it much better, because usually there are a lot of things that are lost in translation between the client, then the project manager, and then the technical team. Um, so one day, and that business lasted for quite a few years. And then one day I was browsing through Product Hunt, and I found Glide. They on their launch day, like a couple years ago maybe, and the tagline was build an app from a Google spreadsheet for free, something like that. And I was like, well, I know spreadsheets. I can manage that. And then I created an account, and I don't know, a couple hours later, I had an app, like very clunky, but an app, right? A web app. And I was like, cool, this is great. I can learn this and play around with this and get it to the next level. So that was like the very early how I ended up with no code. I found Gliding Product Hunt, and then I started trying all of the other tools and all of that. But yeah, that was the beginning.
Okay. So it was the like initial days of Glide, very initial days when they launched their sort of I feel a first version.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So okay, one thing, since you are also founder of a company, you can any day hire any developer and ask him to build your app or your problem basically into a web app or something. So like I know it's very good when you do the things, but it also consume your time also, na? It consume your time, and you, instead of building businesses, you rather focus on building a product.
I don't know. I think most agencies start building products for clients, and eventually they build a product for themselves, or not for themselves. They build a product and they pivot to a SaaS, right? In this case, I don't know. We have been very focused on building for clients. We have built a few templates for Glide, which might be more products than service based.
No, I'm not talking about the like about the agency, like how you operate, and I just want to talk about the before starting the agency, even going into the no code thing. So as an entrepreneur, you can even hire the developer. Like I just want to understand the thing. Okay, why someone wants to like build your app at yourself, not on the like you can hire any developer any day. Like you can ask the developer to build a certain sort of product. If you know, okay, there's a problem, and if I build a web app or mobile app, that will solve the problem. So you can hire a developer any day. Then why someone choose building app ourselves, not like why the developer? Because it consume your time. So for example, if you have a 10 hours a day for working on a startup, any startup, not on this, and you are developing a product, so it will easily take your 2-3 hours, 5 hours, depend upon the work. And you can put that much of time on building a business rather than building a product. So why someone will go to these sort of things? Okay, build so that like flexibility of building own apps rather than hiring a developer or agency.
I think there is a couple of reasons. I think first one is that even though no code makes it easier for people to build an app, sometimes no code is still too complicated or too complex for someone who's not technical. So even though it's easier to build, they don't want to build for themselves. The second reason is that most of our clients are very focused on their business, and their business is not building an app for themselves. Their business is doing whatever they do, right? So like they're like, okay, this is cool. I understand how it works. I can take over when the app's built, which is something very important, right? Because when you hire a developer, you have to hire them for your whole life, right? Because you don't know how to manage a React app. Like I don't, most people don't, most business owners don't. So with no code, at least sometimes they're like, okay, I can manage the app when it's built, but I don't have the energy nor the time nor the technical knowledge to build it myself. And that's why they come to us. Like I have this idea, I know it can be done. Uh, I need someone who's an expert who can help us set it up and do it right. We see a lot of people that start an app, get stuck, and then come to us. And when we look at how the data and the structure of the app's built, we rather start from scratch and rebuild it completely in order to make sure that the app will scale with their business rather than having a super clunky app that will not work in a few months. So just like I don't know, I might hire someone to, let's say, we don't do that, but let's say that we wanted to do an email funnel, right? Marketing funnel with email. I can do it myself, yeah, but there are experts that do it every single day and that know the best practices in the market. And I might prefer to hire someone to do it so they do it rather than do it myself. So I think it's the same. A lot of people, we build the app for them and then they take over and they can work on the app, do edits and changes. So they feel comfortable enough with the app now that it's built. But yeah, they would rather spend a little bit of money having an expert build an app for them.
Okay. 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 One more thing. So while the day you find out about the Glide app, and now you build a 180 plus app. So why you stuck on the Glide? Like from since then, there's a lot of other companies that came into the market, like other app, Adalo is there, and I think there is a couple of more who build the mobile app. Why you like what's so special about the Glide app? You stuck with the Glide app, or is it just you got a proficient with the Glide and you can build like turn any problem into solution using a Glide?
At that moment, when I found Glide, I had a friend who needed an app, and Glide was the only, I mean, not the only, but probably Bubble had it. But comparing Adalo to Glide, Adalo did not have maps, and Glide did, and it was like a map-based app. So I started working with Glide, and then I think something that I think is important on how it's also hard to do when you're starting out, like an agency or something like that, is to focus on something, right? Because most people starting an agency, they will do anything, right? So with no code, someone starting with no code, they will build a website in Webflow and a website in Card and a Bubble app, a Dalo app, Glide, they'll do everything, right? And I thought, or I still think to this day that that's a mistake. I would rather focus on a tech stack, on a tool, and be the best on that. So I did a lot of research, Bubble, Adalo, Glide, and a few others a couple years ago. And I was like, well, I feel very comfortable with Glide. I can build in Glide. I will focus 100% in Glide. And yeah, and that has been what we have been doing up until now. We are, I mean, right now we are also Integramed partners. But in terms of app building, everything we do is in Glide. So, I mean, right now we are the largest Glide agency. We have built more apps. Right now, 220 apps so far. So if someone is looking for, I don't want to say the best, but the leading agency regarding Glide apps, we are there, right? And if I would have focused on fixing everybody's problems, we wouldn't be the leading Glide agency, right? So of course we'll lose, I don't want to say a lot, but we'll lose, I don't know, 30% of the opportunities that come our way cannot be built in Glide, and then there's nothing we can do. Right? So we tell the not even the client, the person, hey, your idea is great or not, whatever, but Glide is not the right tool to build your app. You have to find something else, probably Bubble, probably Abello, probably whatever. And we don't do that. So go find someone who does build in those tools.
And while choosing the client, what aspect of your client you like see, okay, this client has a problem, should I work or not? Like what aspect or what parameter you see, okay, I should work or not? Like how you decided it?
Regarding the tool that we use?
No, regarding
Right.
taking the client. For example, I have a like a idea and I pitch to you, okay, this is my idea and I want to make a Glide app. So how you basically see the idea and see, okay, I should work with this client or not? How you decide that?
In terms of the technology, there are certain things that someone might want that Glide cannot do. For example, payouts. A lot of people want to do marketplaces where they take a fee and then the vendors take, so the vendor takes 95%, they take a 5% fee. So you need Stripe Connect to do that. Glide doesn't work with Stripe Connect, then we don't take those clients. Some of the clients want apps that are are like a dashboard, right? So you want to see the charts on top and then a little table down here, and then like a, I don't know, a to-do list. So dashboard-based apps are also not a good product to be built in Glide. And third, the size of the database. People or businesses that create hundreds of records per day are not a good, like Glide will not be the good a good platform for them because they will run out of space pretty soon. So, and there might be some other ones, but those three are the most important ones.
Okay. 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 How big your team is? Like who is like all in the team? If we can
The database?
not like in the NoCodeAgency. How big the team is?
We are 6 people right now.
Okay. So
We
you
have,
handle all the sales and marketing thing, or like someone else?
I do the sales. I do the sales and marketing. I mean, we have an agency. We have an agency that does marketing for us. I do the sales, and then we have project managers, and we have the builders, a designer, and an office manager who helps us manage a lot of other admin stuff.
Accounting and
But yeah,
all.
6 so far.
Okay. And okay,
Full
one more thing.
remote. Yeah, we have people all around the world. I'm based in Mexico. The company is in the US, but we have people like Asia, Europe, America. So yeah.
Okay. One more thing. How you recruit the talent? What is the one since like Glide thing and even the no code space is in general is a new space. Like there's a not so great developer right now because like but mostly are some early adopters. How you find a like good talent for your company? What you look into the talent before hiring?
It depends on what we're looking for. Are you talking about developers or
Yeah, yeah,
builders?
yeah, builders, Glide builders.
I think we do a pretty good job, if not a great job, in uh, planning how we want to build the apps, right? Sometimes when clients work with a freelancer that builds Glide apps or any other app, the process from idea to build is very short, right? So I understand, or I think I understand what you're trying to do, and then I build it any way I want. Hopefully, or hoping that what we build is what you want, right? With the agency, now that we are a larger team, we have the resources to map the processes, map the user journey, map the layout of the database before we get to building. So that allows us to hire builders that are very good. We definitely have the best Glide builders in the market, but also are very good at following instructions, right? We don't need very creative developers, and I don't mean that in that we are just giving them a set of instructions and they just build. However, they're all very technical. They can code a little bit, so we can implement coded solutions on top of Glide. But I think something important is that they follow instructions. They are very clear. We take a lot of notes. We document a lot of things. So like being very transparent in terms of if you don't feel comfortable, ask. If you have questions, make them. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, let us know and someone else can build that part, right? So I think it's all about trust. Um, yeah, trust is very important, and then we start testing some people. Sometimes when we need more builders, I send like a few uh, like a test, right? So build an app that has, I don't know, these 3 or 4 elements. We pay for that. And then we start figuring out if we are a good match to work together. We are such a small team that I would rather spend more time trying to find someone that fits the team rather than hiring someone very technical.
You are right now building the Glide apps, or like your team is completely managing that, or you
Yeah,
are handling sales
I
only?
don't build anymore. I mean, sometimes I take over. Sometimes, like we are in a call with a client and something happens, and I can jump in and do a bunch of things. But there, like 90% of building is done by the team, and I am no longer involved in that part.
How you are planning to like do sales and marketing of the agency? Uh, I recently saw your tweet also. You are trying to pull up a podcast thing.
So, yeah, I mean, it's sales and marketing is always a challenging part. I have done sales all my professional life, so I feel comfortable doing that. And right now, it's a mix of many things. It's a mix of being very active in the Glide forum. It's a mix of cold emailing. We have some LinkedIn strategies. We have newsletters. We have social media. I mean, we do like so many things. I spend my days doing so many things in terms of sales. Um, Usually and ideally organic rather than full. Um, but yeah, I think it's the most it's the most challenging part because without sales we don't grow, we don't right, we don't do anything. Um, and it's I don't want to say it's complicated, but with software development in general, I'm not talking about no code. Um, Anyone might be a client, right? Any small business or large business may have a need that can be fixed, or they can save time with a software or an app or something. So and also no code being so new, there's so many things that you can do and so many markets that you can focus on. Right now, we are very particular in our tech stack, which is Glide and Integromat, but we take any type of client, right? We have worked with huge companies like American Express, right? A public huge company, while most of our clients are entrepreneurs or small and medium businesses in the US. So trying to find clients is challenging because yeah, anyone can be a client. So anyone that has a need or wants to fix a pain in their business, no code might be a good solution for them. So it's not like you have a clear strategy of your target market, like, I don't know, 50-year-old managers at large companies. So you do a LinkedIn thingy and then it runs and you might get some clients, right? This is very unique, very different. Or maybe I'm doing it wrong and I don't know how to do it. But yeah, it's a full-time work, definitely the sales and marketing part.
Okay, what is the one channel, one social media channel, or any other channel you will find that will help you a lot in getting a leads?
Things I don't know, we are focusing a lot on SEO,
Okay.
and doing like targeting certain keywords in different industries and stuff like that, so that when people start looking or researching for a solution, I don't know, for their healthcare clinic, we come up on the first page of the search. So it's very, so far I cannot tell you.
Yeah, completely understandable. Okay. Okay, one more thing. When you meet with the client, do you educate them about the no code space, no code tool? Okay, or they already know, okay, there's a new industry is growing up, no code thing, not just about the Glide, but different apps is coming out, and there's no code industry. Like we should use that rather than traditional software building, like coding languages.
Some do, some don't. Some clients don't even know what Glide is. So they just see the front end. They have an admin dashboard. They don't care. Their clients don't care. Like for them, no code is just they have no idea, right? Some clients do. Like some clients did the research, found no code, probably found Glide, and that's how they got in touch with us. So sometimes, I mean, but in reality, even though the client knows Glide, they really don't care. As long as their problem is fixed, they couldn't care less if it's Glide or Adalo or Bubble or whatever. If the price is right, if the software fixes their problem, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Sometimes we as, I don't want to say technical founders, but as more tech savvy people, we are very focused on the tech stack. In reality, small and medium businesses, they don't care.
They need their solution for their problem.
Yeah, exactly. If it fixes the problem, then the app works. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care.
Okay, one more thing. Like rather than like building a product using programming language and then using no code tools, like how much you think the pricing is matter? For example, I'm just giving a random number. For example, there's $100 product cost is for any software, for example, e-commerce, and traditional agencies asking like $100 for building a. So is the pricing matter? Like for example, when you quote for particular software development thing, they will ask you like, okay, you are developing a tool, you are developing a product using a no code space, you should charge less, or it just depend upon the problem you are solving.
We quote a fixed price for building a app. Everything is custom made, so we start from scratch every single time. So yeah, it's a fixed price, and then when people take over Glide and the licenses and all of that, they handle that. Or some less technical clients, we handle everything for them. So they pay us a fixed price for the build and then a maintenance fee that covers licenses. And we have even some clients that their apps are very MVP and they're getting a lot of users and they're changing a lot. So some clients have us on a retainer fee, and then we sell X amount of extra development hours per month. So yeah, it varies depending on what they want to do.
Okay, okay, okay. So okay, one more thing. While talking to a client, do you also help them in the sales and marketing their product, or you just build their app and that's it?
Yeah, we only build the app. We don't do marketing. We don't do product market fit. That's something that we don't do. We're not experts in that. So yeah, we just build the app, and then usually then they launch it, get a few users, then they come back, say, hey, this didn't work. Let's fix this, or let's do this flow in a different way, and then we rebuild that part. Right? That's one of the good things about no code and low code, that you can change things pretty fast and cheap.
Right.
So yeah, we don't do any other than just building the app.
Like, what do you think the future for no code is? It's like a lot of developer will jump in no code thing, or you will think, okay, this will open the complete space for the non-coders, non-traditional coders, like restaurant owner or someone pub owner or someone real estate agent. They will it will open the software development thing for them, or it is just, or you think in the long run all developer will move to there and they start like they start building apps for others like like they do in the traditional businesses.
I think, I mean, if I think that Excel is the perfect no-code tool, right? So everybody uses Excel, professional like developers and non-technical people. And I think no-code will follow a very similar path. I mean, a lot of people, developers and not developers, will use no-code tools when it makes sense, right? Because if you work in a large enterprise, in a large business, and you talk to the IT department and say, hey, I need a software that calculates the formula and gives me a number, right? I mean, why would you do that? I mean, you would do that in Excel, right? It doesn't make a lot of sense. They would do it in Excel. So maybe they do a macro in Excel and put that in your home screen, right? So right now, I think a lot of people say there's a conflict between developers and no code. I don't think that's the case. A lot of developers don't like no code because I think they don't understand what it means. But if they understood that it's just Excel and drugs, they will be fine with that, right? It'll help them do things faster and cheaper and without a lot of headaches and without a lot of debugging. Uh, and at the same time, more technically inclined people that don't work in IT or software will be able to build their own apps. I mean, we've helped like so many small and medium businesses um, that know there's something that they can do without hiring a full-time developer. Uh, so I think that will create massive opportunities for small businesses to compete with larger enterprises that have the resources to hire developers. So I really think that the impact of no code will be felt on businesses of any size, both large and small.
So as you also see, there is a lot of tools are coming in the no-code space. I think in a week there is a 1 or 2 product launches every week. What do you think future of the no-code? There is a like a 2-3 player in each vertical. For example, 2-3 player in a mobile, 2-3 player in a website, or 2-3 player in a ERM set. Is it something, or there will be like democratic some sort of thing? Okay, there's a 10-20 player is out there in each verticals. What do you think the future of no code industry?
I mean, this is just playing around. I have no idea, but I think that a lot of large enterprises will start buying no-code tools. I mean, we just saw SAP buying AppGyver. We saw Google buying, I don't know, AppSheet or one of those. I think Microsoft will eventually buy something. Oracle will buy something, right? So I think a lot of large businesses will buy no-code tools. At the same time, I do think like companies like Bubble, maybe Glide will stay independent, like creating tools for people to build software. Uh, I think it'll be a very, very large market eventually, and everybody will want to be part of that. Both large enterprises like Microsoft, Google, SAP, and independent companies like right now Bubble. I mean, Bubble's not small, right?
Yeah,
But Bubble, Glide, Adalo, I mean, a lot of these will stay independent and will be profitable and have a lot of clients.
I think Microsoft already have their no-code tool. I forget the name, and I think Oracle also, but like recently acquired some startup, no-code startup. Okay, one more thing. So you name your agency name is low code, not no code. How? Like, is there any thought process, like, or like what?
We use code in a lot of apps. Like I certainly I'm not one of those persons that are like 100% no code. Like I would never be proud if my app is only built with no code. It doesn't make any sense, right? Our clients don't care if it's no code or low code or code. They just want their problems fixed. So I think that the point between no code and code, which is low code, is good enough for pretty much everyone, right? So um, yeah, I think there's no conflict between no code and code, right? We use code and we don't care. I don't care. Clients don't care. So yeah, I think it's a very good trade-off having a low-code solution because it's easy enough for someone non-technical to understand how it's built, and it's powerful enough without overcomplicating things on the back end. Um, so we like to have like very clear documentation on our ideal client. We will build the app for them and then they will take over. So the clearer the app is built, the better or clearer the documentation is, the easier it'll be for them to take over and eventually do edits and changes to their app. And that includes the coded parts and the no coded parts. But I think, yes, I said earlier, no code tools with a little bit of code will get you a very, very, very long way.
Like where you look for the talent, like glide builders or your glide builder. How you look for the where exactly you look for the talent on LinkedIn or glide forum or like Twitter.
I am very involved with Glide, so I help the Glide team with certain parts of support. I am very involved in the community forum. So I am very aware of who's building what in Glide.
Okay.
Uh, However, I think so. Yeah, I know a lot of people in the Glide community, and yeah, we can always find talent. However, not talking about Glide, I do think, and you said earlier that there are like a couple no-code tools coming up every week on Product Hunt. There is a great opportunity. So while I don't want to say that Glide is saturated, that the amount of Glide builders are too many, maybe though, uh, I do say that there are so many tools coming up in Product Hunt, like no-code related, that are great. For example, Phantom Buster. Phantom Buster is a fantastic tool. It's not that easy to use, right? So I have been speaking with a few people and they're like, hey, what do I do? How do I become a Glide expert? Uh, right now, I don't remember how many Glide experts there are. Maybe enough, maybe not, I don't know. But what I can tell you is that every week there is a new tool that needs experts, right? Because the founders are focused or should be focused on building the product. Clients or future users might come in and they might not understand things. And you might say, oh, but no code is so easy. Everybody should be able to do that. But if you look at Zapier, Zapier has experts. Like there's nothing as simple as Zapier. Point, click, select, and then connect it to Google Sheets, and this is the output, right? Should be like, I'm sure the founder of Zapier never thought they would have or need experts for their clients, but they do, and they have a community of great people that are Zapier experts, and people get stuck and hire the experts to use Zapier. So if that happens with Zapier, which is the easiest tool in the world, it'll happen with every other tool. So my suggestion for a lot of new people coming to the no-code space is find something new that you think will work out and become an expert there. Like get involved with the founders, get involved with the team, get involved with the product, and tell them, hey, I want to be your expert. So when people come in and they have a support question that's not related to the product, but related to how to use the app, send them over. I will help them. I'll become the expert. I'll become the go-to guy for Phantom Buster, for Glide, for any of these no-code tools. There is a huge opportunity there. Of course, people today, a couple years ago, they didn't. Today, everybody sees Glide, everybody sees Babel, Adalo, but don't look there. I mean, look at the next stage of up and coming tools. After Builder, I mean, there are so many tools out there. Some will make it, some will not, right? So you have to play your bets. Uh, but yeah, there's a huge opportunity for builders to become the leading voice at whatever tool they choose.
I think the main problem with like choosing the any platform or become an expert for this is believe in that particular product. Like as a freelancer or like outside like product team. Even in the initial days of Bumble, like even you saw the Bumble product, and in their initial days, it is not something it will make a big or something. But if you deep dive into, then you can see, okay, the main fear is if it is not work out by any chance, if it is not work out and it is not become a like great product, then I will be jobless.
Yeah, I mean,
So,
yes, but you can always do something else, right?
yeah,
Or you can always, I mean, in our case, we are, and I'm not worried now, but we shouldn't be 100% focused on Glide, right? That might be a mistake. What happens if Microsoft buys Glide tomorrow and then Glide disappears as a product, right? We're out of a job. So I placed my bet, and so far it has worked out. I mean, and we at Local Agency get like, I don't know, 3 or 4 emails per month from tools, no code tools or low code tools saying, hey, please come and we want to certify you and your team, and we want you to be an expert so that we can send you clients, right? So the way I built low code, we only built in Glide, but I know a few Glide experts that do a bunch of tools, right? And that's fine. Like they do, I don't know, Pipedrive and ClickUp and Glide and whatever. So they get a client or they get a lead, and the lead wants whatever, and they have a robust enough tool set to say, okay, what you need or what I think you need is a CRM, so let's use Pipedrive. And then you need project management, let's do ClickUp. And then you need whatever, so they have a broader set of options. And if some tool doesn't work out or later on disappears or whatever, they can move on to the next, but they still are experts in a few softwares.
Well, I think when you talk with the founding team on a regular, like not a regular basis, but on a continuous basis for a 6 month, 1 year, and you also got to know if they are serious or not, like their product vision and all. I think that will help you to build a confidence to use that particular product or not.
Yeah, I mean, you have to trust the product, you have to trust the team, and the product has to make sense to you, right? Because at the end, even though I'm selling low code agency every single day, I'm selling Glide, right? So I trust Glide. I know Glide is a great product, and I feel very comfortable selling Glide. So when someone is doing their research in terms of what I want to do, in terms of I want to be an expert of XYZ, do your research, feel comfortable, talk with the team, see what they have done, and build something on the product, like see their roadmap, see how good is their support, engage with the founders on Twitter. Like, I mean, you have to do a lot of research.
Right.
But if that product scales, you will be riding a wave. Like Glide has grown so much in the last couple of years. And even though we have done a lot of work with sales and marketing and all of that, we are also riding on top of Glide's wave, right? So if Glide is growing, we are also growing. So finding the tool, the product to do that, I don't think it's very challenging. I mean, some product launches look like fail from the beginning. Like you can, I don't know, some have a bad feeling, some don't. Make a bet, like choose three of them, and yeah, start play around with them, and yeah, speak with the founder, say, hey, when people come in, have a question, send them over. I'll help them for free for the next 3 cases. I want to build apps or solutions with your software, and then start charging, and then charge a little bit more, and then that's the way all agencies start, I think.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just becoming greedy. Okay, I have this last question. Like when you initially talking to the Glide team or Glide founder over the Twitter or personal way, all right, what is the question you are asking? Like, is it mainly related to product, or you are asking like, or you are giving a feedback or saying, okay, build this type of product, or you like what exactly what are the some questions you are asking to the Glide team?
Something important is that you have to figure out how engaged they are with their product, right? Because some people are building something to sell fast. Some people are building something to sell late. Like, I think that the Glide founders want to build a $1 billion company, right? And while building something to sell for $100,000 is also great and good for them, it might not be good for the freelancer or the agency that works on that product. So, like, what is driving them? The quality of the team. I mean, I do know for a fact that the Glide team is really outstanding. The engineers are outstanding. They're a great team. They work so hard. They launch so many things related to their product every quarter. So I think you have to look both at the product and the roadmap, and at the people working at the company, the founders, how much they trust their product, where they come from. So Glide is a YC company. The founders are ex-Microsoft, very technical, very knowledgeable. They have funding. So yeah, you have, I mean, at the end, it's a bet, right? Because
Right.
instead of AppSheet being bought by Google, it could have been Glide, right? And then we wouldn't be here speaking. So it's a bet. At the end, it's a bet. But yeah, you have to feel comfortable with the product and the founders.
Okay, that's it basically from my side. And you like give me a lot of time. If you have something to ask me, or like, do you have any question for me, any feedback for me?
Not really. What do you do what do you do? Do you build apps with no code? Are you a developer?
Okay, I'm right now like running an agency, and plus I'm a Bubble developer. So okay, from last I think 7 to 8 months, I'm like using Bubble to build my own app for the client. Sometime for like solving my own problem. Most of the time I solve my own problem, and on a full-time job with my building a company or like building an agency to set up a remote team for my clients.
Okay, cool. How has it worked so far?
It is working good. It is working good.
How do
So
you find clients?
for my full-time thing, so mostly on LinkedIn, I reaches to
Okay.
lot of US, UK, like startup founders and all who is looking for the building their teams, building looking for the developers and all, so that I reaches to them and help them to set up a team. Thus far, I think I we have like me and my co-founder. I have a co-founder too. So we have set up I think 6 to 7 clients like for their teams. Different zone. One is Singapore, I think one is US, one is Canada, and yeah, one is Germany, and some in India. I'm from India, so some in India. So yeah.
That's great. Cool. Do you use automations for LinkedIn, or you do everything manually, like searching people?
Yeah, I do a manual. I don't like. I don't know. I find some tool, but I don't trust them, and also they remove the human touch.
Yeah.
What I feel like. So we prefer manually. We search about the client. Does he need or not? If we think okay, he needs it and he posted or something, or he's building it, then only we pitch and figure out okay what is the good message or email that we can send him, not generalize. So we like purposely remove the automation thing and all.
Cool. Great.
Thank you.
All right, man.
Bye bye.
Have a great day or night.